The Virgin Islands government will have to pay $1.26 million to IBT Group for the greenhouse project in Paraquita Bay to move forward. Deputy Premier Dr. Kedrick Pickering says government intends to pay IBT the $1.26 million, adding that government will not be moving forward with the Virgin Gorda phase of the project. Dr. Pickering was giving an update on the status of the greenhouse project on November 14th, following a meeting between a government negotiating team and the IBT Group, the principal owners of the intellectual property rights of the project.
We've come to an agreement that includes basically that the government owes IBT a figure in the range of $1.26 million. There was no dispute about the fact that government owed IBT the money. Neither there was any dispute about the figures. There are obviously some minor adjustment of the figures to be made, but they're just dollars and cents, nothing significant based on the accounting and the invoices that have been submitted. So we agreed in principle that the government owes this money and it is the government's intention to pay this money. We also agreed that at this point in time, government is not interested in moving ahead with the Virgin Gorda section of the greenhouse project, which was well received on their part because it focuses specifically on the greenhouses at Paraquita Bay, which would then allow us to really concentrate on finishing those and get them to a point where they can become fully operational.
IBT is a multinational group of companies that specializes in the development of public works and the integration of construction equipment projects for public institutions. Dr. Pickering says the existing contract will be terminated and government will appoint Steve Augustine as project manager to supervise local operations.
We further agreed that based on the monies that are owed to IBT and that we agreed in principle, we will then terminate the existing contract. Both parties agreed mutually to terminate that contract. And subject to the payment of the monies owed to IBT, which we will pay in installments and have the full and final payment completed by the end of 2014, December 31st, 2014. Once that process is complete, IBT will then send their team to the BVI for analysis and update of the greenhouses, the material that is on the ground. And once they've done that analysis, that will then form the basis for a new contractual arrangement with IBT and the government of the British Virgin Islands. And we have agreed in principle that that particular visit will take place no later than the 15th of January or anywhere after, but before the 15th of January, when the full and final payment is received by IBT. The government's responsibility at that time will be to provide on-the-ground team that will work along with the IBT representatives to do this analysis, and so both parties can be fully aware of what is available and where the project is at this point in time. It is government's intention, and we've had initial discussions, to appoint Mr. Steve Augustine to be the local project manager for the greenhouses going forward.
The greenhouse project started in 2009 under the previous VIP administration. The Auditor General's report on the greenhouse project tabled in the House of Assembly in July this year highlighted a number of irregularities. The audit revealed that the public procurement process was completely bypassed and the project cost government in excess of $6 million. It also pointed out that at no stage in the process was competitive tendering engaged in the securing of contractors, and that a contract for installation of the greenhouses was executed by the ministry without sufficient planning or preparatory work for site, utilities, and other related costs, thus creating problems with coordination and leading to unanticipated costs. Dr. Pickering, who is also the minister responsible for agriculture, indicated that IBT will complete all the greenhouses at Paraquita Bay, and one of the facilities will be operated by the company as a laboratory unit for skills transfer, while the other spaces will be leased to local farmers interested in leasing sections of the 3 units at the site.
It is my understanding that there are 3 greenhouses made up of 7 entities. So if you say 1/3 of the greenhouses, and we call that 1, we have agreed in principle that IBT will complete all of the greenhouses because their original contract was to design and build. So they will complete that process so that all of the greenhouses will be fully operational by the time this process is complete. We will then negotiate, as a part of the new contract, we will negotiate with them to operate 1 of the greenhouses, which is 1/3 of the greenhouses. And this we will use as a government, from a government's point of view, as a laboratory. That is where we will get the H.L. Stowe Community College, the Virgin Islands Technical School, and other local persons who are interested in the technology of the greenhouses to be involved with the skills transfer that are necessary to be able to make greenhouse technology in the BVI functional. One of the greenhouses, call it the second 1/3, we intend to lease out to private entity. And we have 2 local entities who have indicated their interest in leasing those greenhouses from the government, and they will then operate them on their own and operate it as any business would be operated. And then the other 1/3 we will use for leasing to local farmers. Understanding that we have 7 entities with a significant amount of square footage on it, so that we expect a large number of local individuals who are interested in greenhouses will be able to lease space there, and along with the skills transfer from IBT to bring them up to speed and up to date with the technology.
Government's negotiating team comprised officers from the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Natural Resources and Labor, and the Attorney General Chambers.